So, if you are a people pleaser or a perfectionist and are struggling to find ways to rest in your life, watch this video. We're going to chat about that stuff because it can be a challenge just living as a human in our world to find rest. And especially so if you are used to performing at a really high level, doing all the things right, putting that mental pressure on yourself, or if you really struggle with saying no and are always showing up for people as they need you to without kind of showing up for yourself as you need yourself to. So there's a few different pieces to rest, right? There's the idea of physical rest, mental rest, and emotional rest. And those things all kind of coalesce into overall how we're feeling, right? We feel what is a combination of our mental world, our emotional, spiritual world, and our physical world. And if you're a people pleaser or perfectionist, chances are you've got a lot going on in your head. A lot of, what if this doesn't work out? What if they don't like me? What ifs? And that takes a toll. That is really tiring on a mental level. Emotionally, there's a solid chance that because maybe you're tying your worth up in your results, you're struggling with self-worth, and that can really take a toll on your confidence and just your emotional health. If you're a people pleaser, you might be, and let's say you're a sensitive people pleaser or an empathic people pleaser, you're probably taking a lot of emotional stuff on you that might not be yours to hold. Or maybe it does feel like it is yours to hold, but either way, there's a big emotional component to that. So chances are your brain's tired, you're emotionally tired, and then there's your body, which is kind of dealing with all the things and maybe giving you some signals and might also be feeling tired. So what are some ways that you can find rest? First thing I want to say is this is super individual, right? What feels like rest for one person will not feel like rest for another person. So it's something that you really need to connect with for you and start noticing what feels restful and what doesn't. That's thing one. Thing two, what has felt like rest in the past for you might not feel that way right now. And that's okay. As you shift, as you have more years on this planet, try different things, different activities in life, something that used to feel restful and really used to fill you up maybe doesn't right now. And that's okay. So it's okay to try new things if old things aren't working for you. Or maybe they do in different seasons. And I can just give a quick example of this. At one point in my life, running felt really restful for me because I could just turn my brain off and enjoy being out there. So I'd come back physically energized, a little more maybe physically tired as well, depending, but physically energized, mentally recharged, and just in a really good place, and I'd feel filled up. But then at one point, running became about going faster, and there was pressure and results attached to that for me, so it no longer felt like rest. And when I would go for a run thinking it would recharge me, it actually didn't, because there was now mental pressure associated with it. So I took a step back at one point and was like, no, that's not restful for me anymore. I would still run, but I wouldn't think of it as being a restful activity. It was more work. And then again, down the road, that has shifted. Now running is a restful activity for me again. Just my mindset around it has shifted. So things might ebb and flow for you, and that's okay. And then thing three, we talked in the last video about making space for rest by getting rid of some of the things in your life or minimizing them, setting boundaries around them that are not restful for you, that are taking away from your energies, that are draining you. So if you make some space in your life by clearing out some of those or limiting some of those non-restful things, then you start to have space to move into rest. So that's important, is that you have space for it. So let's say you're working on finding what feels restful for you, and you've made the space to explore that, how do you know when you found it? Here are some things to look out for that will kind of give you a sense of, is this something restful for me or is it not? How do you feel during what you're doing? Are you feeling like your nervous system is kind of coming down into a place of relaxation, that good parasympathetic rest and digest place? That can be a clue. How's your brain feeling? Is your brain feeling busy, or is your brain feeling more calm, a little more clear? That might be a sign that what you're engaging in is restful for you. How are the signals in your body, right? I sort of mentioned, how does your body feel? Just checking in even deeper with those. Do you feel any tension, or do you feel a sense of ease? So that's something really important to notice, is just what are these different things that you're feeling during the activity? And then how do you feel after? After you've done the thing, do you notice that you feel kind of refreshed and ready to go, or ready to go to bed if it's bedtime? Or do you notice that you're feeling like amped up and revved up, or more tired? If it's the second thing, probably not restful. If you're feeling refreshed and kind of ready to go or ready to sleep, chances are that it was a restful activity, and it might be something that you want to explore again and check in with again. And the last thing I really want to say about this, apart from it being so individual, right? What feels restful for me may not feel restful for you, is that sometimes an activity that is stressful for one part of the body can be restful for another part. This is that mental, emotional, physical thing that I want to just touch on. So for me, because my mind tends to be what gets busy, my mind and my emotions tend to get wrapped up in things unless I can really catch those thoughts and process them in a healthy way. So I find physical activity, although yes, it is using my body, I find it incredibly helpful to actually find rest, because it helps my mind settle, especially for me running downhill fast on technical trails, because I'm fully in the moment. I have to be. My brain has to be fully there, or I'm going to wind up on my face. And having done that, it's not recommended. So that physical activity provides a lot of mental and then emotional rest for me. So notice what these things are for you. If you're busy in your brain, maybe moving your body is going to be helpful for you. If you are exhausted in your body, sometimes overcoming that inertia and getting your body moving a bit can actually be really helpful. Maybe you go for a gentle walk. Or your body might just be saying, you know what, today is a day to have a nap, do a puzzle, read a book, whatever that is for you. So the more you can tune into these cues that your brain, your emotions, and your body are giving you around rest, notice your responses, the more rested you are going to feel in life. So just ask those questions. What do I notice? Does this feel like rest for me? Yes or no? Do I want more of this particular activity in my life? Yes or no? If yes, how do I make sure to have space for it? How do I make sure to commit to doing this thing? All right, I hope that was helpful. Leave me any comments below if you have them. And if my content is useful for you, please subscribe. Take care. Until next time.